It's my money clip for all my fucking money.
I see that it's empty.
I got a $1 bill for it.
Yay.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back.
First things first.
We got a nice piece of swag today from my good friend Jeremy Power for the MF hot sauce. So, Jeremy, this is now a permanent part of the set. And you guys, Savannah's locals especially, check him out. Buy his hot sauce. It is absolutely amazing. And, yeah. Excuse you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. On with the show. I guess I'll start off a little bit. I had an interesting week. You go
ahead and talk.
Okay. My in-laws all came and visited with me and Trish this week.
I'll do it off mic, sorry.
Thank you. All right.
Is that just as distracting?
Okay. And it was all of Trish's family, my mother-in-law and her husband. Trish's dad, my father-in-law, came a day earlier. My Trish's brother and his wife and their 4-month-old baby. And then,
by the way, this family's like the Brady Bunch. So
it is literally.
Good luck keeping track.
There's so many. That's why I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Trish's sister and her husband and their 2 kids, a 3-year-old nephew and my 5-year-old niece, they all came and stayed in the house, and it was a nice, big, happy, fun time. I am fortunate that actually I do like my in-laws. I get along with all of them very well. So, but a couple of things. I was talking to my 5-year-old niece, and because 5-year-olds will believe anything you tell them.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her that I was a ninja, and she believed me to the point for the rest of the trip she called me Uncle Ninja.
Mm-hmm.
That impressed her. So I was like, well, I'm going to impress her even more. Did
you have to do anything to prove you were a ninja, like vanish or climb on the ceiling?
No, I just told her.
Kids are dumb.
So I was like, I'm going to impress her even more. And I said, Uncle Ninja is on TV. So I pulled up our podcast and I showed her Uncle Ninja on TV. She didn't care. she could care less.
To be fair, anybody that stumbles across our podcast has the same sentiment.
Yeah, she was like, who's that talentless hack that you're working with? Yeah. I'm like, you got to be more specific because I see 2 on their screen right now. So yeah, but
the kids are always more fascinated by the fantasy.
Yeah, she could care less that Uncle Ninja was on TV. I didn't tell her it was YouTube. I just told her we were on TV.
Album of the week: Who Taught You to Hate Yourself? By McKinley Dixon.
Excuse me?
I forgot his name.
Yes.
I have his shirt somewhere. Anyway.
Okay. That's awesome.
I should have pulled an album with the guy's name on it. I think it's McKinley Dixon.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
I think it was on Tiny Desk concerts. Check it out. So obviously we didn't have a chance to record last week because I caught the Rona.
Yes.
I'm vaccinated, so despite being vaccinated, I caught it. And then Sam and I woke up feeling really sick that Monday. We went and got tested. By Wednesday, we knew. I didn't know there was a rapid test at Walgreens for free, so I went to the Civic Center.
Well, actually,
looking back, I should have done the rapid test.
Actually, I found out that the rapid test actually will give false positives, so you're better off.
Sam actually got a false negative from the Civic Center, but then we retested her because we were like, there's no way you don't have it.
Right.
Because she was sick too.
Right.
And then we contacted everybody we'd been in contact with, and I was like, I went back 2 days and I was trying to figure out who I was around, so I was spreading the message around, and really, by Wednesday, I didn't feel bad anymore. Still, like 2 bad days, and then I was okay. But we had to quarantine for 10 days, and quarantine sucks. And I don't think I've really updated. Like, I remember in the beginning of the podcast when I was doing really rough, and I think I talked about it and thought it was dental pain and stuff. I don't think I've really I've talked to you about what it actually is, but I don't think I've talked to them about what it actually is. So I'll go into that. So I have this really rare chronic pain condition, more than likely, called Trigeminal Neuralgia. And it's really rare. I think there's like less than 3,000 cases a year or something. And essentially what it is I have constant pain in my face that can flare up for a couple seconds or several minutes. Kind of just depends. And it's really hard dealing with it, but I've found some medication that's working for now, and it has been really effective. Here's the weird thing, and I don't know if I talked to you about this. So I was on I had these pills that were 25 milligram, and you have to slowly up the medicine so that, because it reduces the side effects. So it'd be like, 2 pills, 1 in the morning, 1 in the night. So you're 25, 25, and then the next week you're like 50, 50, 75. So anyway, I was up to 100 milligrams a day with the 25 milligram pills. And so my doctor was like, I'll just get you the 200 milligram pills. You'll snap it, and then you'll take 100 you'll take half in the morning, half at night. So it's just 1 pill I'm taking instead of 4. And after a couple of days of doing that, I went back to the pain that I was having before I was on medication. It was so bad. And just so people get an understanding of what it is, like, it's on this side of my face, but on this side, I'll just demonstrate it. Pain will start here and then move like a river up to different points in my face, like 5 or 6 points. The points feel like I'm getting stabbed.
Ooh.
And the connective areas feel like they're on fire. And that was, the flare-ups were happening 14 or 15 times a day.
Ooh.
And so I was already at home.
Yeah.
During being quarantined, and then on top of that, I was just in constant pain with agony shooting up 14, 15 times a day. So it was really rough. And then after a couple days of that, on a hunch, I was like, okay, I've been taking these 100 milligram tablets.
Yeah.
I'll go back to the 25 milligrams just at the same dose and see what happens. And then, so like Wednesday morning, I took 4 25 milligram tablets. Like I switched back to the 25 milligrams and took the same amount, and my symptoms immediately cleared up. I asked my dad about it because he's a pharmaceutical rep, and I was like, have you ever heard of a higher pill form of a higher dosage not working, but the same amount working with a different tablet? And he was like, yeah, that happens a lot.
Oh, so that's interesting.
Yeah, very weird. Yeah, just kind of a hiccup. These things always happen when my doctor's out of the office for the week. So I always get really hesitant anytime my doctor's like, we'll be out of the office this week. I'm like, okay, some shit's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm going to be in the worst pain ever.
Yeah. So just to update everybody, that's what I was dealing with. And going off of that, that's why the first couple episodes of the podcast were so cringy to me to where I couldn't watch them, because I knew what a horrible headspace I was in, and I feel like that was translating on screen. At the same time, we were getting used to this format and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why. But recently, we've discovered that we're hilarious.
I think that we are hilarious. I mean, we're hilarious.
2 funny dudes.
I mean...
May God have mercy on your soul.
I was gonna do it earlier, but then you were telling that serious story, and I'm like,
that would have been better. Honestly, that would have been so much better.
Like Brennan is actually being
I'm in constant pain. Every day is a battle with suicide. Yeah. I'm having incestuous thoughts. I don't know where that has nothing to do with pain. By the way, that's off axis. There you go.
Oh, sorry.
No. Like the front of the mic is the most, picks up the best. Yeah. Remember, I had Dennis right here.
Okay. Sorry.
Well.
Oh, that's coming back.
I know. We're in for the ride.
I told you were gonna probably want to punch me on camera soon. But okay.
We will not edit that out. by the way.
No, not. I'll need it for court.
Also, one more thing, just going on now that it's kind of getting a little on the lighter side. Since I'm feeling better, but just kind of off the same topic. Mm-hmm. You talked a couple weeks ago, I feel like, about missing bands just coming out with EPs. Mm-hmm. Like just really quick, 4 or 5 song EPs. Like that was something you really liked that bands would do. Mm-hmm. And that inspired me because I've been, a couple of my newer songs that I've been writing really focus on dealing with chronic pain, obviously. Mm-hmm. And that inspired me because I had another song that I wrote earlier that's in the same vein. Just it kind of makes sense now, but I was writing about something different, and now it's just like more poignant, if that makes sense. So I wrote it a couple years ago, and it's all about dealing with emotional pain, not physical pain. But then it's like, oh, this makes a lot of sense now too. Yeah. And so I have these 3 songs, all pretty much just about dealing with chronic pain. So I'm gonna make, after I release my album, pretty soon after that, I'm going to release an EP. Awesome. And that was inspired by you, because I was like, all these songs fit together. I'm not going to write an 8, 9, 10 song album about chronic pain because nobody will listen to it. Because it's just well, this is sad as fuck. But I think that's a really good package to present it in. And it's 3 songs, but I was thinking about one of the songs is pretty simple formula, but it's nice and tight, and I really like it. And I was thinking about just extending the middle instrumental section, and I have a couple friends who rap, and just having one of them come on, and it would be like a remix of that song. Okay. So it'd be like a version with a hip hop artist in the middle. I thought that'd be kind of cool.
That would be.
So you get like 3 songs and then that.
Actually, very interesting.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
So that's you inspired that. So
well, I mean,
giving you props.
Here's what I earned it.
Oh, good. We're not recording.
Sorry. I'll put that away now. I already wore it out.
No, you won't.
The only thing is I can't be sneaky about it because I have to like literally stick it in the mic. Like, no, you just keep talking. I'm just over here with my phone touching stuff up against the mic. Anyway, it went over a lot funnier in my head last week.
No, I hate you.
I'll just edit that in later. Not out, in. Anyway, continue.
One of us is going to die today.
I say that every morning when I get up.
Spoiler alert.
Well, cool about the EP, for real.
Yeah, I'm excited. And the nice thing is I have all of them already scratch-tracked out. So, and now that I have like the drum software that I'm really comfortable with, like I can just go back in and, I mean, I'm pretty much ready to roll on that. So I'm going to, obviously focus on the songs on the album, singles first, but then I'm ready to roll pretty much as soon as I'm done recording. And I feel like when I'm mixing and mastering the other songs, if I get tired of that, I can just start recording the EP. Yeah. So I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be really good. And dude, I did this post earlier. So I've been, you'll be proud of me because I've been listening to a lot of albums, but this week was pretty much just Tool's discography. And I made this post. I'll send it to you to put up on screen. Yeah. So I'll let you read it and then I'll read it. So we'll put it up on screen and then so right here and then I'll read. It's like, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love this band, but Tool albums be like track 13 Ses La Un Chakra Amni, track 16 Brown Bear Sugar Asshole.
Now going off of that, while we had a little break, I'm pulling this up for something else now. I promise. I was actually hanging out in the backyard, and I was like, maybe I should just
somebody's backyard or your backyard?
Just somebody's. Okay, I think they were on vacation. I don't really know. They have a really nice dog. Really nice dog. But I was like, maybe I should just start going back into listening to like full albums. So over the course of that, I just went through a few. I re-explored Black Sabbath's Volume 4, Van Halen's first record.
What's that called?
Van
Van
Halen.
Halen, yeah.
My favorite Def Leppard album, High and Dry. And then, don't get excited, I went and listened to Rat's Out of the Cellar, their first record.
I like Rat.
Yeah. Went through and I listened
Just
to...
like power 80s metal or
Very, yeah.
something. Yeah.
Went to and did Motley Crue's Shout at the Devil album.
Shout.
Shout. Shout. Shout at the devil.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Didn't sound like you were gargling cum earlier or anything.
And that still sounds better than Vince Neil now.
Yeah.
So-
Bringing it up again, that rendition of Dr. Feelgood where he's not nailing any lyrics.
No.
He's Dr. Feelgood.
So going off on that, and this might be a little outdated when it gets to you, but we discovered that we are way ahead.
LSDC is ahead of the times.
We are
Suck
ahead
it.
of the times.
Suck it, fuckers.
So the video was released of a show this past week.
None other than
Our patron saint, Aaron Lewis, who was so drunk on stage, he performed the same terrible song twice. Yes. Not even like back to back. Because he was meant to perform another terrible song, and because they sound so much alike, even he didn't know the difference. Even he couldn't tell the difference between two of his biggest hits. So Aaron Lewis, we were right all along. You're an idiot.
Yeah, you're not just the butt of a joke.
You are the entire joke.
You are a butt. He it's funny because you sent me that video, and I was like, wait, holy shit, is this recent? And you're like, yeah, this just happened. And I said, we are way ahead of our time. We called it.
We've been calling him out for...
And what's sad is his fans are such enablers of his because they're cheering the whole time. He's like, I'm so drunk right now. And they're like, yeah, we are too.
Yeah,
we're pieces of shit too.
Yeah. And like I was telling you, I mean, have your fun. But when I pay to go see a concert, I don't want to see a blobbering drunk up there.
Yeah.
And I've been to some shows where the performer might have had one too many before the show, and it ruined the show. And I literally, and it was musicians that I really, really liked.
And that's the worst.
And it's like, I almost want my money back.
Right.
Because I don't get hammered at a show because I want to enjoy it.
Right.
So you don't get hammered. Get hammered after the show.
Yeah.
Knock yourself out, bro. I don't care.
Yeah.
But you're up there. You're on the clock.
Yeah.
And for him to be like, oh, I guess just drank too much. And his idiot fans like, yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Joe Rogan puts it really well. And he's always had this mentality is that people got babysitters for this. You need to take it seriously.
Yeah.
Like people are there to see you. You're like you say, you're on the clock. You're working.
If you go to work drunk, what's going to happen to you?
Get fired.
Yeah.
Unless you're the singer for Dirty Rig. Then you get a promotion. Yeah. But what I was gonna say, yeah, he saying he tried to blame it on the weed, and that's really shitty of you to try to blame marijuana because it's like you smoked it, asshole.
Yeah, it's your fault.
I smoked too much weed. It's the weed's fault. But as I say, it's like his fan base didn't care.
No.
You were talking about a show one time that you went to, and it was two bands you liked, and then Deftones. So it was Mastodon, Alice in Chains, and Deftones.
Right.
You wouldn't have cared if the lead singer from Deftones came out on stage and was super fucked up and they played a bad show, because you would have just gone to the bathroom, bought a Alice in Chains shirt.
That's actually what I did when they came on stage. Was I went and got a beer and went to the bathroom, and so I didn't care.
Could you imagine if Deftones were on point, but Alice in Chains and Mastodon were too fucked up to play?
I would be very angry, and I would probably have just about severed my relationship as a fan with those bands.
Yeah, it's really hard to not. One of the things that made me start taking music very seriously, because when I started doing open mics at that, part of getting over the nerves was, I'll drink. But then it takes a little longer than you thought to get on stage, and you're drinking the whole time out of habit, and then you're so drunk you get up there and you fuck up royally.
Yeah.
And I watched a documentary about Joe Cocker.
Mm-hmm.
And it was talking about in his later years, that was a habit of his was, the record label really had to keep tabs on him to keep him from getting too fucked up before a show. But then one show, and it was a big show, it was like at the Troubadour or something.
Mm-hmm.
Before the show, a couple days before the show, a buddy of his from England came over, and the record label was really tentative about letting them hang out, but Cocker insisted, like, it's going to be fine, I'll keep it together. And then, of course, night of the show, he's too drunk to perform, and he's like sitting on the drum throne, just babbling incoherently. And I realized at that moment, I was like, I could never do that to people.
Yeah.
And, goes along the people got babysitters for this. People are trying to make a night of this. You don't get to take your self-loathing out on them.
No.
So, Aaron Lewis, fuck you. Aaron Lewis fans, I don't want you listening to this podcast anyway.
No, not if you're going to enable him.
Here's the thing. If you like the music, fine.
Yeah.
But if you support him doing shit like that, if you still support him because of that kind of behavior, then I really don't know why you're essentially in an abusive relationship.
Right.
You're letting somebody walk all over you and treat you like garbage and still buying records and merch.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
But the reaction from the crowd in that video just shows you how garbage that fan base is.
Yeah.
Because even, as you say, like, even hardcore fans of, like, metal bands, if they got on stage and were too drunk to play, the crowd's going to let you know.
They will let you know. And they might even come after you.
Yeah. They're going to be mad.
Yeah, very mad. And enabling Aaron Lewis or anyone else like that, fine. Then you deserve to go to another concert of his and waste your money. You deserve it.
And here's the thing. We're not disparaging drinking a couple beers before a show. Or
No, of course not.
There's a band, I forget the guy's name. He's in a couple bands, and he's really talented. And he smokes like a chimney. He drinks a lot. He did a it was a bar somewhere. A friend of mine was telling me he was at a bar, maybe like around Macon or Dublin or something. He's in a band called Diamond Rugs. But anyway, he crowd surfed to the bar, took a huge swig of Jack Daniels, crowd surfed back, replugged in his guitar, and just started ripping a solo. That's fine. Yeah. Because you're keeping your shit together. If you're a jam band and your lead guitar player rips a huge bong in front of everybody and then continues to shred, fine.
Yeah, knock yourself out.
But you can't fuck up your own songs. You shouldn't, and really, this is going into something entirely different. You shouldn't fuck up other people's songs that have been around for a long time.
And we talked about this. This goes to the performance that Vince Neil put on maybe a month ago, where he was. Oh, and also, I guess Puddle of Mud a couple weeks ago too.
Puddle of Stained,
which I was on good account from different people who were close to what was going on that day with Puddle of Mud, that Wes Scantlin was actually not a pleasant person to be around.
Can't imagine why.
He was very hungover, and he was just what I would expect from him. And a lot of people that came in contact with him in the band were very displeased. I'm not saying in what capacity they came in contact with him, fans or people working there or the cops, whatever.
Bathroom attendant.
The pizza delivery guy, whatever. They were, Puddle of Mud was actually not really pleasant to be around, especially Wes Scantlin. I also heard that the other bands were the opposite, and they were a great pleasure to be around.
And that just goes to show you.
Yeah, and that Richard Patrick from Filter was actually a top-notch human being, from what I gathered. So
your secret intel source.
I got a few.
Yeah.
I don't want to mention any names, but
Sure.
It was Brennan. It was him.
Just trying to get Wes Scantlin's autograph. Hey man, you sober enough to write your name?
Here you go. Thanks. We're now legally divorced.
He writes down Keith Richards. It's like,
but yeah, I mean,
that's the thing is like, when you're a piece of shit like that, I get it. You hate yourself. Don't take it out on the audience who's there paying money to see you.
right.
Get your shit together. And it's weird. I feel like every rock star has done that at least one show.
They have.
Eddie Van Halen was notorious for it. Slash has done it. It's just...
Dave Mustaine.
Yeah, it's just unprofessional.
Very unprofessional.
I don't like it. And it's as somebody who's, let's say... I don't have a good relationship with alcohol or other drugs. Part of the thing I'm dealing with, I have this substance called Delta 8, and it's like a really large concentration of CBD and then tiny little insignificant amount of THC. And it really helps with the pain. So there's a little bit of a psychoactive effect. I save it for when I'm home for the night. I'm not doing anything. It kind of helps my anxiety, and then I can sleep. So not somebody who's 100% sober. I'm not against using substances, but
yeah,
the message of this podcast is keep your shit together.
Yeah.
Aaron Lewis, you're garbage.
You're garbage. I mean, I've been...
You're more garbage than the band Garbage.
Yes, because they at least can put on a decent show. But yeah, I mean, I could sit here at this podcast for 2 hours and just plow through alcohol. And how exciting would that to be to sit here and have me just like be just absolutely worthless drunken pile.
That's the show.
Like, but you're not. You're not paying to see this. So this is free. But yeah.
For now.
For now. Yeah. Later.
I'll let Blue Apron fuck me in the ass.
There you go.
I'll sell out immediately.
But
yeah, just talking about that kind of stuff, and we're ahead of the curve. But going back and listening to the more recent episodes have actually been enjoyable, and it's nice going back, kind of listening to some parts, because I'll catch a joke that you threw that I didn't catch in the moment, and that's really fun. They're a lot more bearable once I started feeling better.
Right.
So I'm excited. And I feel like at that point, because it was probably episode 8 that it really took a turn up. And then ever since then, it feels like every episode is better and better and better.
Yeah, I feel like that too. And I listen to them when I'm at work, not to be vain because I want to listen to myself talk, but I mostly listen to them just to...
I mainly listen to you. I kind of tune me out. And
yeah, I kind of do that too. And just try to catch the feel and see if there's anything that needs to be worked on, or things that flow or, kind of go well, or maybe if we accidentally said something truly offensive, I'm still going to keep it in there, but,
yeah.
Just note, oh, well, I'll remember that so I can say it again.
Yeah.
And just trying to keep up with all the aging, worthless rock stars that we're just pounding into the ground to make sure we don't miss anybody. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Meow. Let's do this.
That was a horrible flip, but I win.
You win. We had an interesting week with songs. I hope you enjoyed your slices of life.
You know what's funny is I actually really liked the songs this week.
I
won't tell you. There was 2 I actually enjoyed.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. So, and then that'll spoil it at some point. But
yeah, but
so how does this work? It's been so long.
You
you
win.
I give you mine.
Yeah, give me yours. Once again, and I know we discussed this like 5 times. I think you told me to only watch 2 of the videos. I just watched all the videos.
That's okay.
I was like, I'm already going to do this to myself.
There's a reason for...
It made sense, the 2 that I remember you told me to watch. It made perfect sense.
Yeah.
So, what was number 1?
Misery Business by Paramore.
And
it's not spelled correctly, but that's kind of cool.
It came up in my search.
Hayley Williams is super hot.
She is not bad on the old peepers.
That was an older song though, but she's still hot.
Yeah, I'd heard of Paramore. I was familiar with, when I saw the album art, I was familiar with seeing that album. I've never knowingly listened to Paramore, but
not really. I've definitely heard some of their stuff. Just the time they were big when I was in high school, so obviously heard some stuff.
Yeah.
I found this song because of another song on this week's list, and it's funny because
I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
We won't reveal too much, but one of the last song that I pitched you this week, it's TikTok. You're aware of kind of what TikTok is. People can like take music and do videos, dance videos and stuff. Well, one thing people can do is like clip music together, and so obviously Sam, around my age, she really remembers the Paramore song, and there's a new song out where they actually flow really well together. They're in the same key. And so girls Sam's age were making TikToks of the new video and then it going into the Paramore song because they were like, wait, this sounds really familiar kind of thing. So
Yeah.
So it was interesting on that level, and that's kind of why I pitched the first and last one, just to kind of, once we get to that one, we'll talk about the spectrum.
Yeah.
And where I am on it. And like, am I high functioning? Am I Robbie six strings? Am I No. So we'll talk about the spectrum of inspired by to rip off.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Cuz there's a spectrum there. And there's obviously a lot of bands notorious for breaching that spectrum on the wrong side. Hashtag One Direction. And so Misery Business by Paramore. Thoughts and feelings.
It was very interesting. The video was, and I guess we'll kind of touch on that, or do we not want to? What?
I spilled coffee on my white pants.
Coffee. Pants.
All right, semen and t-shirt.
Spilled.
Let's move on.
Okay, anyway, like I said, I'd never knowingly had heard them before, even though I was familiar with them. I kind of like their kind of rockin' sound.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that era when they came out. There were a lot of other bands that were similar to them, and one of the bands that we are going to talk about today, I think, was close to that, but maybe Paramore was a little bit more rockin'. It was a fun song. The video was kind of tough. Showed them as tough. Like, it was, very centered around, I guess it was either around being the woman was just like this horrible person, like if Erin Lewis was a teenage girl. And I do like in the end where, the band just kind of...
They wipe off her makeup, they take out her fake tits.
And they just kind of like...
Yeah.
Like they're like the cool
The
tough...
drummer was an ass. He
did that thing at the end.
He pump fakes her. It's like, are you going to hit her? What the fuck?
It's like awesome.
Yeah.
But I mean, that she was mean. She pushed that guy with the broken arm up against the wall. And I'm pretty sure she's the one that broke his arm. And just what a mean girl.
Yeah.
What a horrible.
It's a fun video though.
It was fun though. It was like, this is kind of like reminds me of what like an 80s hair metal video would be like, to be honest with you.
There is one part, it's like right before the guitar solo, when she like kind of goes on her knees and then the guitar player comes. I thought he smacked her in the head with his guitar. Yeah.
I saw that and I thought that he had like hit her.
It was edited really strange right there. The angle was off or something. I thought he hit her in the face.
Almost to the point where I thought maybe he had accidentally hit her in the face and then like
and they just kept
cut.
the take. They kept that taken because it just looked so cool.
Yeah.
But I'd like to think they just rehearsed it that way and
probably
she matrixed it.
She was tough.
I think the only thing I really didn't enjoy that much about that song, and it's passable, is the guitar solo. It's just really boring.
What's very poppy? That was.
It's just eighth notes the whole time.
Well, that's where like rock pop music was kind of at that point, because there were a lot of that type of band that would have had the same kind of solos at that time. I mean, it was very of its time, and to me, it doesn't feel like it was that long ago, but I guess it probably was. If you were in high school, so 10 years ago, wow. But yeah. But I think Paramore is kind of like the not so goth version of like Evanescence or Flyleaf or something. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like for people who think
God,
that those
Flyleaf, damn, that's a That's a callback.
Was it Lacey Strum? Is that lead singer Flyleaf? Yeah.
Yeah. And then the lead of Evanescence,
Amy Lee,
was married to the lead guy in Sk8er for a while.
They weren't married, but they were practically married.
Yeah.
She wrote "You Only Call Me When You're Sober" about him. So
wait,
or "Call Me When You're Sober" after they broke up because he was a drunk.
Oh.
But that's why they did that revised version of "Broken" together, because they were together. So interesting.
Can't fight the Sk8er.
That's where they got their name from, was the Veruca Salt song.
Yeah.
So.
And then they covered it, right?
Yeah, they covered it on like their greatest hits album. Yeah. I kind of like Sk8er. I mean, that's one of my when I just want to listen to like some hard rock and modernized hard rock and music. I like Sk8er. They're fine.
Yeah,
they're not,
they're no Stained, but
yeah. They're definitely no big Bimp Blisket.
Blumpkin. Blumpkin, yeah. Fred Blumpkin. So, thumbs up?
Thumbs up, yeah. I mean, it's not really what I would get into, but yeah, it was a good rockin' tune, and the video was fun to watch.
Yeah.
So, all right, so let's get to this really odd theme that I gave you this week.
Yeah. I'm guessing just like 80s weird music. Yeah.
Very 80s, very weird.
Very meta today.
Very meta. The first song I gave Brennan was Pac-Man Fever. It was written and performed Buckner and Garcia, two Atlanta DJs who wrote, I think, the entire album. It was basically an album of songs about video game characters. This came out in 1982 when such video games were really popular enough to where Pac-Man Fever was actually a radio charting hit. And I remember my brother got the record when it came out, and we listened to that whole album all the time. I mean, there was a song about Donkey Kong, there was a song about Centipede, all of your... And I thought I had an extra copy, and I was going to give it to you, but I can't find my spare copy of Pac-Man Fever, because you're not getting my OG. I'll let you look at it next time you come over.
I can touch it.
And then I'll show you the record. But what was funny is the slipcover actually had several, not cheat codes, because those didn't exist, but several ways to play the Pac-Man game to get through levels quicker. And it's really very of its time.
Like routing and stuff.
Yeah. And, it was
that was kind of funny, because that was a lot of the lyrical content is like, I'll go out the back door and slip around the side, stuff like that. It was all, very Pac-Man themed. But there was like a lot of sexual innuendos too, kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
a little bit. To pick up some cherries and take them for a ride. Just,
Well, but we were little kids. We didn't understand any of that.
But I liked it. It was actually really fun. Very 80s. Very...
Yes.
Yeah.
Extremely.
But it was interesting because I feel like Pac-Man Fever was actually a thing. So it's good to know that video game addiction is just long-standing. And ever since... What was the first video game? Pong?
Yeah.
Like people were probably addicted to that shit.
Yeah, they were. We had a Pong machine.
And now we look at the graphics and stuff today and how realistic it is, and you're like, how could you get addicted to Pong? But a lot of, the message of this podcast is taking things as they were of their time.
Yeah.
So. And
this is very much of its time. And it was fun, and I can't listen to that song without being transported back to like 82, 83 when I was 5, 6 years old and jumping on the couch, rocking out to these songs, because these were the most rocking songs at that point.
It's a very fun song.
It is very fun, and it's just dripping with nostalgia. When Pac-Man came out and the video game craze hit in the very, very early 80s, it was huge. Kids, we used to have arcades at the mall, and all it was a big store, I guess, store-sized room. And it was just arcade games. And we would go in there, and you could spend all day in there.
Yeah. They still have arcades.
Oh, awesome. Well, I know Portal, but that's not really I mean...
We'll bleep that.
Yeah. You probably should.
It's a dirty word.
Yeah.
I probably have to go back and bleep a lot, actually. Maybe not.
There was a couple of slippery slips.
Well,
Slipperies.
Can you blame me?
No.
Anyway, but yeah, they're usually attached to like go-kart and laser tag places.
Yeah, and
It's
but
like a
used to it
big
was just its
sort of
own thing.
multiplex. Yeah, yeah,
Every
yeah.
mall had like an arcade.
Making that money with quarters.
Yeah, quarters, and Pac-Man was huge, and so yeah, of course, someone had to capitalize on it and make an entire album around Pac-Man and all the other, video game characters of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just it was fun, and it was very, very interesting to hear that on like Top 40 radio.
Yeah. Here's a Savannah deep cut.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be this place on Congress Street at the address 606 East Congress Street. East Congress Street? Yeah, East Congress Street.
That sounds like City Market area, isn't it?
It is. And it's where I think where Anthropology is now.
Okay.
But the address is still the same, 606, and it was a restaurant called 606, and it was kind of like a bar grill place that was basically an arcade where parents could go take the kids would go play video games, parents would drink and talk, everybody come back and eat, and then the kids could go play video games again, and it was such a fun place. This had to be late 90s, early 2000s, and I'll talk about it with my parents every once in a while, and they talk about how much they love that place because they were like, you guys would just leave us the fuck alone. You'd come back when you needed quarters or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember being so excited about the 1 quarter video games because having a basic kid understanding of economics, you're like, I can play these more than the game that takes $1 or whatever. So I just learned to love a lot of they were typically older games like Pac-Man, Frogger, things like that. They were on the cheaper side, whereas the Terminator shoot 'em up game was, $1, $2, whatever, account for inflation. But I remember just having such nostalgia for that place, and it was smaller. It wasn't like the size of an 80s arcade in the mall, but it was
right, yeah.
20, 25 machines.
Wow.
So
that's a good bit.
Pretty
though.
good size, yeah. Especially for the space, because it was like one part of the restaurant was the bar, and then you go in the side with the arcade, and there's like some booths.
Okay.
Stuff. I always got the curly fries. So good, so good.
We used to have in our Pizza Hut. It was one of the Pizza Huts, and I think it was Pizza Hut.
Pizza the Hut.
Yeah, Pizza the Hut. But anyway, it had a little room that probably had like 6 video games, arcade games. So if we finished our meal, you can go go in there and play your arcade games. And this is kind of leading up to, and this is what we had growing up, and they're still around, was the Chuck E. Cheese Showbiz Pizza, which was basically all the great things a little kid would ever want. You got, scary animatronics,
Scary
pizza.
animatronic mouse rapist.
Yeah. And then, video games and pizza and skee-ball. That's when I first discovered skee-ball. But we had, in Macon, we didn't have Chuck E. Cheese. We had Showbiz, which I watched a really cool documentary about. The two companies were actually, first they started out competing against each other, then they actually became the same company. But that's a whole other podcast. But yeah, I mean, just video games back then, because not everyone had a video game system in their house.
Yeah.
When I was,
because this is well before the NES.
Oh yeah, we had an Atari system. We got it for Christmas of '82, and it was the Atari 400.
It had like Galactica on it and stuff.
Galaga, Pac-Man. It came with Pac-Man, and you get like Defender, Donkey Kong. You could. I mean, we didn't have a lot of games, and of course the graphics were 8-bit.
Yeah. As was the music.
Yeah, the music was also 8-bit. But long before like NES graphics were light years ahead of these. But that was the thing. And so when you could bring video games home, that was amazing. And we'd put the Pac-Man Fever record on and play video games at home.
Yeah.
With the little joystick that always broke. And, but yeah, just a little slice of the beginning. This whole, on my side of the table today, is going to be a whole lot of slice of what it was like to be my age in the 80s.
I'd like to get to the place where, because I have a serious problem with video games. Like, it's my crack.
Oh, okay.
I can there's been a couple of times in my life where I got a little too invested in a video game, and then it becomes the focal point. And it's the bad thing is I'm actually the hard thing is that I'm actually pretty good because I have good hand-eye coordination, and because I'm good, I want to. If I do poorly, I want to do better. So it's like just this rabbit hole of. I think did I tell the story about playing Skyrim on my friend's system and wasting a weekend?
Yeah.
Like waking up Sunday night, like what the fuck happened?
Yeah. You only left to like eat, and that was it.
Yeah. So I'd like to get to the point where I can be productive enough with music and not have a whole lot else going on to where I can, at night the way I talk about once I'm done for the day, I'll take a little hit of the Delta 8. Like maybe I could play like a video game for an hour or 2 hours or something. But that's the thing is I have to cap my time limit or I'll spend a weekend playing video games.
Oh, wow.
Or a work day.
I never, as much as I loved video games as a kid, I don't own a gaming system. I haven't played like games in years. I mean, nothing against people who love games.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know. I just one of those things that I no longer had any interest in.
Yeah.
I mean,
and just speaking for this type of person, because I think there's a lot of like a sort of a negative view on people who watch Let's Plays, which are essentially videos of people playing video games.
Yeah, I knew somebody that did that, and I was like, "This is boring."
And yeah, that's kind of the thing that people get. It's like it's boring. It's a waste of time. Like it's weird that you're watching somebody play a video game instead of playing a video game. For me, it's great. I don't know if everybody who watches Let's Plays feels like this, but because I have a video game addiction, I still get to watch video games, but it's easier for me to turn it off because it is a little bit more boring and less engaging than playing the game.
Oh, yeah.
So I get to still enjoy the game, but I'm not going to waste 6 hours on it.
Right.
I'm going to watch it for 20 minutes and then I'm going to go.
Yeah.
So it's really helpful for me. So that's just to give a little bit of a positive spin on a
if that's your thing, like some people say, well, there are people who sit down and watch other people play a sport.
Exactly. And it's the same. It's not as physically demanding, I would say, but it's a test of hand-eye coordination and strategy. And I used to watch, there's this game called Overwatch, which is like sort of like a Call of Duty style game, but it's different characters and they have different powers, and you try to have a team built with different people so you can be as effective as possible, and there's like objectives and stuff. It's really fun. And there was a professional league. I think there still is. There's like the Atlanta Reign and the I don't know, pick different cities. There was cities with teams, and it was no different than the Falcons playing the Bears.
Okay.
It was just fun. Oh. And these are the top of the food chain Overwatch players. So you're watching the best of the best as you would be watching the NFL.
Yeah.
The best of the best football players. So it's just a different lane,
It is.
But it's the same thing. And people who watch football are like, oh, it's so stupid. It's like, okay, so is what you're doing.
You're watching,
Because it's the whole thing of like, we won. It's like, no, you didn't do anything.
You didn't.
We did it.
We did it.
Nobody celebrates harder than the student body of Alabama. And the people in the country too stupid to go to Alabama. Shots fired.
Shots fired. Well, it's Alabama. They're not going to
hear
you,
Aaron Lewis. You fucking New England Southern wannabe.
He should have been from
That
Alabama.
was a fucking hilarious part of the episode I was watching back because I was watching it on YouTube, and I was like, you'll never guess the state he was born in. And you put up the picture of like poor white trash on the truck.
I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah.
But so you like Pac-Man Fever?
This was so much fun. If you want a little taste, a little slice of the 80s.
Yeah.
It's a fun song. It really is. And it's got like the sound effects from the game cut in there and stuff. It's fun. It's a really fun time.
Awesome. Well, good. we'll move on to
Why'd you have to go and make things so complicated?
wrong song.
Same girl.
Same girl, and sounds the same.
Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne.
Sk8er Bean by Avril Lavigne.
Sk8er boy.
He was a skater bean. He said, I'm on Sex Machine. I don't know.
Set it up. What do you got? What do you got for me?
I just needed something in that kind of same pop, rock, girl singer kind of thing to split the gap. Because the last song is a lot newer than the previous two, but I needed something that kind of filled the space, because that second song's a hard slot to fill, especially when the emphasis is on the first and third song.
Yeah,
and this just seemed like it kind of worked. It's about a love interest, and there's a love triangle thing going on as in the first song as well. So it was just it worked.
Yeah.
And why'd you have to go and make things so complicated?
Sk8er boy.
Why can't you just like the song, Jonathan? Go ahead. 1 second. This is going to bother me the whole episode if I don't do this.
What are you doing? Yeah, don't.
It was bending the soundproofing.
Yeah, don't prep the room before we start filming.
Hey.
Prep the room during filming.
I was too busy preparation H on my prep hole.
Gross. Well, I didn't. And I told you already, I'd already heard the song. I won't really get into the story I told you about how I was familiar with Avril Lavigne.
Oh, yeah.
But when this came out, when Avril Lavigne, why is her name so hard to say? Why is it so complicated?
It's too many L's.
Yeah.
And it's Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne.
Yeah. It's like a Latin word.
Yeah.
It runs together.
Can we just call her A-Dog?
Butthole McTits.
Actually, we can also call her the former Mrs. Chad Kroger.
No way.
A few years ago, they got married, and they're now not married anymore.
I wonder if it's because she listened to Nickelback for the first time.
Shot fired. But you know what?
He's like trying to bring his lyrics into the bedroom. He's like, you look so much cuter with something in your mouth. And she's like, we're done.
We're done. He's still a better human being than Aaron Lewis.
Absolutely, 100%.
Just thought I'd say that.
And here's the thing. Silver Side Up, not a bad album.
The State, the album before that is a good album. I like it. It's a good rock album. Yeah. Sorry.
And,
it was after that.
Before it became a meme, Photograph was the all-time slow jam at my middle school dances, because you got to go get close to a girl and dance with them. The worst part about all the girls I ever danced with, I'm sorry, because I would get sweaty palms.
Yeah.
And they would have like wet prints on their side.
I had that problem. My eighth grade.
It was the worst. Here's how middle school dances work. Stand up.
Yeah, I know where we're going.
So the girl would do this, and the guy would do what Jonathan's doing.
This is how we would dance. Yeah, my poor 8th grade girlfriend had to deal with my sweaty palms.
Yeah. At least you had a girlfriend. I was swapping girls like there was no tomorrow.
I hear
I was leaving sweat prints on everybody. I'd like to apologize to Angela and Sarah and Krista and Christine and Christina and
a little bit of Angela's all I need.
Yeah.
A little bit of Christine's.
Lua Beg.
Yeah, Lua Bega, Mambo number 5.
Yeah.
Still better than Aaron Lewis. Anyway,
fuck yeah. I'd go to a Lua Bega concert.
I would too.
Yeah. I'll never see Stained. If it's 3 bands that I really want to see and Stained is opening, I'll show up an hour late. I'll miss the second band. Just so there's no chance I see Stained.
Yeah, because I don't know how I would react as far as throwing everything in front of me at Aaron Lewis. And I'm not threatening you, Aaron Lewis. I just think you're an idiot, and I hate you.
I will take the discarded Grizz cans off of that floor and throw them at you. There should be plenty.
Yes, plenty.
Packs of cigarettes and
Marlboros and
babies because they couldn't afford a sitter. So maybe Rogan's wrong about Aaron Lewis because those people are too poor to hire babysitters.
Well, these are the kind of people that bring babies into bars anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Bars where you could still smoke.
Yes.
It doesn't matter because they were smoking in the car on the way over.
Yeah.
You ever see that? Like, somebody with the windows rolled up in a car smoking with a baby in the back.
That was the 80s,
Well,
by the way.
Pac-Man Fever.
Well, we're rocking out a Pac-Man Fever. But anyway, back to Avril Kroger. But yeah, she was when she kind of became popular. That was more like the punkier rocker version upgrade from like your Britney Spearses and your Christina Aguilera's. You like that? Drug it out. Still better than Aaron Lewis.
You're just drunk.
I'm not even drunk. I've had like a half a beer.
You're horrible at saying the names of women you feel attracted to.
That's exactly it.
You get tongue-tied.
Yeah.
And twisted. Just an earthbound visit.
Oh man, I totally love brown Cletus.
What? Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I went way off.
There's a comedian. That's all right. There's a comedian I really like called Kyle Dunnigan, and he does these face swap videos. So he'll make a video of him and put Biden's face on him, and he'll do a Biden impression. And he's been doing a new show called The Fresh Prez of DC, and it's Biden, and he's in Hunter and Ben Shapiro, and he's doing all these characters. And there's one like Joe Biden's going into the speech, and he's making all these gaffes because the joke is he's not all mentally there, and he's like, America's in chaos. The BLT movement is protesting in the streets after the death of Pink Floyd. It's so good because he's so clean with his delivery. He does such a good Biden impression. But
now that's a movement I would get behind, the BLT movement.
The death of Pink Floyd.
No, yeah. But anyway, other than that, Sk8er Boy, that was a.
I said, see you later, boy.
That was
pretty cut and dry.
Yeah,
little.
I mean,
rockin' tune.
I don't hate Miss Lavigne and her work. It's just I am not the demographic for her. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I used to date the demographic for her.
11-year age gap.
That was.
I can do math.
Which is weird because I was 20, but
She was a 12-year-old. I said, see you later, 12-year-old. She's gonna sneak into my house.
Any hootie.
And the blowfish.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. I will give Sk8er Boy a thumbs up just because I know who it was written for. And when she came out, yes, she was very popular. She brought edginess to what had become a very vanilla pop music landscape at that point.
And maybe it got that demographic more into more fun punk music and heavy music and rock music. Maybe somebody made the because of Avril Lavigne, they found like NoFX or something.
Yeah, it's very possible. That would have been a good transition, especially the age group that they might have been tweens when they were listening to Britney Spears, and then started becoming angsty teens when Avril Lavigne and the like came out, and then 20-somethings really discovering, much heavier, much faster, much punkier, much whatever, like a transition drug.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
like a gateway drug.
Like a
Avril
gateway
Lavigne
drug.
is a gateway drug.
She's a gateway drug to Chad Kroeger. Only for about a year. No. Yeah, that was just weird that those two got married at all. I just scratched my head. It was like,
yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, whatever. Make some shitty music together.
Yeah. Thanks God they never made music together.
Yeah.
Thank God. But
you put you when you never put out because you or something. I don't know. And here's the thing is I really like the music in Nickelback. I just don't it's decent hard rock. But it's just the lyrics and it's like the guy who couldn't get girls in high school, but now he can and he's singing about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But he's got a great band behind him. They're very talented
musically, they sound great. And what gets me is how they progressed from their first record And the more they progressed and the more popular they became, the more adolescent their lyrics became. Like,
it became more insufferable as they got better and more well produced.
I mean, like their second album, The State, and even their third album, Silver Side Up, actually had some really, like, lyrically, an adult could enjoy their songs lyrically.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's this sad song. It's not How You Remind Me. It's oh, the same time, long days in the field. Anyway, I used to listen to that.
Now it's in my head.
I used to listen to that and cry because my dad would make me mixtapes.
Oh, it was about the deadbeat dad.
Yeah. How to Save a Life by The Fray by the Creedence Clearwater. I don't know. Boo!
Sorry.
You need to get one of those.
Yeah, no, I was looking for like the woo, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna find that nickel.
I was talking
butter.
to Sam about this the other day because we recently watched the Austin Powers series while we were quarantined, and we like them. They're stupid, you know. That's the point, and we enjoy them. My dad, he made me this CD one time, and it started out with all these really sad songs, and that was like track 3. And then, you know, another sad song. And then track 5 was like a sound bite of Fat Bastard going, I ate a baby. So you'd be listening, like the first time I listened to it, it was all this quiet, sad music. And then that cuts in at full volume at track 5. And
I think this is it.
Yes. Yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah,
I don't want to play too much. I don't want to get sued by
Kevin
Chad
Block.
Kroeger.
Shout out to Kevin Block.
Chad Kroeger.
He had a
Lavigne.
band called Too Much. You didn't want to play Too Bad Too Much because shout out Kevin Block.
Shout out.
Now he's in a new band. It's Calico MD. Check it out. MD Calico? Calico MD.
Hashtag Calico MD.
Yeah. Remind me to tag them.
Hashtag tag them.
Tag motherfucking hot sauce.
All right. We'll move on to a delicious, tasty slice of 80s nostalgia.
You know what really bugs me about no effects?
What?
They use effects.
All right, we're done. Good night. No laugh track for you. No laugh track. So number 2, I believe, was Ron and the DC Crew.
Yeah. Was it Ronnie and the DC? No, it was Ronnie Rap.
The song is Ronnie's Rap.
Ron and the DC Crew.
Ron and the DC Crew. It was Ronnie's Rap. This was this was a song that basically I'll do a quick little back history. When I was growing up, when I was a little kid, morning time DJs were a real thing, and they were local DJs. It wasn't the syndicated morning shows we have now.
Or like Ryan Seacrest is broadcasting to 500 different radio stations.
Right, or even like the ones like Lex and Terry or Bob and Tom show, or God forbid John Boy and Billy. God. But growing up in Middle Georgia, Macon had a top 40 radio station called 99 Ways. The call numbers were WAYS. 99 Ways. Everyone listened to 99 Ways. Okay, that was the station because it was top 40. But there was a morning time DJ by the name of I'm gonna give him a shout out, Bill Elder. He's retired now, but he was funny and sometimes a little controversial for the 80s. And but his morning show, everyone listened to it while they were getting ready for school, work, listened to it on the way to school, work, blah, blah, blah. He would always play like these little gimmick songs that were sent in. And Ronnie's Rap was one that he played. It's basically, it's as if Ronald Reagan was singing a rap song.
Right. And I'm guessing it's a guy doing an impression.
Yes.
It's not clipped audio. Yeah, it was a little too clean for clipped audio, especially in the 80s.
Yeah,
so.
it's someone, which when Ronald Reagan was president, everyone did Ronald Reagan impressions.
Right.
So, love him or hate him, it doesn't matter. I grew up in the Reagan era, so I can appreciate all the Ronald Reagan-ness.
Mm-hmm. No, and I really liked this song because I can, it's obviously really, really early kind of the time hip hop, but what I liked is, so there's a parody element, obviously, so that's an artistic element to me, and there's actually really good flow in it, because that's something that I didn't really like about a lot of the early hip hop, is it's not, it doesn't flow, it's really choppy, whereas this actually kind of had some flow to it, and I just enjoy that it's a clear parody. It's Bush, do the George Bush or whatever.
And he's talking about Gorbachev. And,
my gal Nancy, that's my spouse, coming at you live from this White House, or whatever.
It's like, Gorbachev's a man with a lot of class. If he doesn't shape up, we'll nuke his country. It was an obvious.
Yeah,
they did that on purpose.
Right? Yeah.
But they probably played that every morning for like.
I'm the best rapper this side of DC.
Constantly, they played that for about a year.
Yeah,
and then it wore out its welcome. But
well, and he probably wasn't president anymore.
Well, it was mid '80s, so it was when.
Oh yeah, he went till '88.
Yeah,
I forget that sometimes.
Yeah,
he was 80 to 88.
Yeah, he was the entire '80s was Ronald Reagan,
and then Bush to cap it off.
Bush into George Bush. Yeah.
And who was his VP?
Dan Quayle.
Dan Quayle. Yeah.
What a moron. Still a better person than Aaron Lewis.
Yeah. At least when he got drunk, he showed up to lower schools.
Yeah.
I'm gonna teach you kids how to spell potato.
No, I'm not. At least his clothes fit. Yeah.
Boom.
We are literally going to do this until Aaron Lewis's lawyers call us.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be like...
Here's the thing.
I'll say, look, Mr. Hostelo.
I would have... Yeah.
That was a local reference.
Mr. Casino. We'll see you in court. So here's the thing, is I would have insisted at a certain point for us to knock off the Aaron Lewis jokes because they're getting old. But he keeps providing us with content that proves we're correct about him. So
yeah, in fact, we were going to leave him alone.
He signed his death warrant.
Yeah, we were actually ready to move on to someone else. And like you said, he's bringing it on himself.
Yeah.
So
he wants to get picked on by LSDC.
Yeah, he does. And it's pretty bad, Mr. Aaron Lewis, when a fifth-rate podcast
with two guys that didn't graduate high school.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're not lying.
I technically didn't.
I technically didn't. I GED'd out.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I got into college because of my GED and not my high school diploma.
Yeah,
because I got my high school diploma from Job Corps, so it was Anaconda High School, Foster Creek Extension.
Is that really a school name?
Yeah,
my Anaconda High School.
The name of the town was Anaconda.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Sorry,
that's okay. But so the high school there had an extension to Job Corps. So when it says Anaconda High School, Foster Creek Extension, it's not a recognized high school. So when I applied to SCAD. So when I was a non-degree seeking student, the high school diploma was accepted. When I transferred to a degree seeking student, they wouldn't accept it. And I thankfully I had the GED as well.
Yeah.
Because then they accepted that. I was like, but yeah.
Yeah, I just
two guys that didn't.
Yeah, I dropped out of high school because I was over it.
Yeah.
Got my GED the day my class graduated.
Yeah.
So I took my GED, finished it, and still made it to watch Trish graduate because we were the same age. So we're going. Oh, just totally off topic because I just remembered this, and it's going to be dated when this comes out. Remember a few episodes back I gave you Just a Friend by Biz Markie, and you hated it?
He's dead.
He passed away this past week.
I saw that.
Don't you feel bad now?
No.
Okay.
Okay. How bad would you feel if Aaron Lewis died next week of alcohol poisoning?
We would throw the biggest party ever.
Yeah. I kind of want to do that with Biz Markie, but you like him, so...
Who do you like more?
Hootie and the Blowfish. Yep. It's twice.
But anyway, Rappin Ronnie, Ronnie's Rap, whatever. If you liked it, nice little slice of 80s.
Yeah, it was fun. I like the parody.
Yeah,
the parody element.
Yeah,
I could see it getting old, but
yeah,
for sure it was fun.
And I don't know if you listened to the radio mix or the full version. It didn't really matter. That's why I didn't give you a preference.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't. Just one of them's a little bit longer.
Right. I can show you the version. It's off Sunshine Rap? I don't know. That might be a compilation album.
That's a compilation. Definitely check it out, guys. Especially my generation. I'm sure anyone my age and a little bit older grew up. If you had drive time radio, drive time DJs, you heard this song.
Unless you lived in D.C., where it was banned.
Oh, no, Reagan.
Like Bad Brains.
I think even Reagan got a kick out of it.
Yeah.
He had a pretty good sense of humor.
Yeah, until he started losing his mind.
Well, yeah. But.
Jelly beans.
All right. Let's get to this one. I'll let you set it up.
Good For You by Olivia Rodrigo. She's back.
4.
I'll say this. A couple years ago, it was like right when the Mr. Wade first started. Before Sam, there was a girl that I was seeing who, let's just say, did me dirty. She did me one dirty. And it really upset me. And I was like, I need to turn this into something. Like we talked last night about writing and getting stuff out. So I started writing. And what I had to do was not just take her and what she did to me, because it was, I mean, in terms of my entire life, it wasn't that bad of a burn. It was just a shitty move. So I didn't write this really passionate song about somebody making one shitty move. I had to go back several girls who did way more horrible things to me. And I had to combine all that, and I got one song out of it. Olivia Rodrigo has had 3 or 4 single hits off of this one guy. And I just thought it would be really funny to get his perspective. I don't know the backstory, and I don't know his name. I've heard some stuff about him, but I'd really like it if they were interviewing him, and he was like, "We went on one date." It's like, sorry, I dropped her off, and I thought we were cool.
I just didn't,
You left me all alone. Yeah, on your front porch. Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't want your dad to yell at me.
But apparently, there's this new thing. He was on a live stream interview or something, and he said that he thought Harry Styles was attractive, but he said it in the sense of like, he's got style, he's very talented. I think he's obviously gorgeous. And then everybody's like, "Oh, are you gay? Are you gay?" And he's coming out and he's like, part of the thing is not knowing who you are and finding out. And this comedian I listened to, Tim Dillon, he's an older gay man, and he was like, "You're a fucking liar." He's like, "You know if you like cock by now." You're just playing into this whole new gender neutral thing. He's like, "You know if you like dick."
And it's like, if you can be a straight male and look at another male, and if he's attractive, I think Sean Connery was a good looking man.
Yeah. One open hand slap to the face.
Yeah.
But no, and it's like,
it doesn't mean that I have to I don't really know where I'm at. I know where I'm at.
Yeah.
He's a good looking dude.
Right. It's like, I don't care what people do
I don't
on their
care
own
either.
time, but it's like, because of the times I feel like this kid felt pressured into saying something like, he didn't want to offend anybody, but be like, "No, I'm not gay." He had to softball this answer, and it's like,
why would that be offensive?
It's okay for you to not be gay. Like, you thought a objectively attractive man is attractive.
Yeah, that doesn't. And don't
now
feel
I
bad
gotta
about,
come out as gay. Sorry, Sam.
You already. I thought you already had. I'm sorry. Weirdo.
Just because I sleep in a closet doesn't mean I metaphorically come out of one every day.
I mean, you can come out with Tom Cruise. Oh, I'm sorry, John Travolta. But
John Travolta.
I can't even make it. But you know what? Still better than Aaron Lewis.
Yes.
Piece of garbage.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Olivia
Rodrigo.
If you're watching this,
Which
look,
she's not.
Are you okay? This video was
Why your bedroom full of water?
Whose house were you burning?
Yeah.
I'm beginning to worry about Olivia's mental state right now. It's okay, honey. If you need some help, you can call Dennis.
Yeah.
Olivia, it's gonna be okay. I'm a little worried about you. I'm glad I'm not that guy.
I'm not.
But you're kind of getting on like psychopath levels now.
She's laughing her ass on her way to the bank. That's for sure.
Of course, but it was just one dude.
She did actually make an album, which I was surprised at. I thought she was just going to ride the single thing out like a lot of people who we've had on the podcast before. I'm just going to look up the name of that album. Sour. And it's got all the, the things we talked. Driver's License, Deja Vu, Good For You. Bunch of the... I think the whole fucking album is about this guy. And I think that's funny because... I don't know. Maybe it's a male thing, but I had to pull every shitty thing a girl's ever done to me or women have ever done to me into one song.
Right.
She gets an album out of it. If I did that about that, the more recent before Sam, that girl who did me dirty, it would be. But I would have like one decent song, and then the next one would be like. You didn't call back, and I thought that was really mean. And it would just be like tapped out immediately. And it's like, shit, I got to write 14 songs.
Remember that time on my birthday, I wanted that jacket, and you didn't buy it for me?
I wanted sea monkeys, and you got me sea people. Or whatever.
Yeah, from the South Park
episode.
Yeah, he had me suck him out of a tube.
Oh yeah, semen. Yeah. No, I thought there was like a talking about 80s nostalgia. I remember Sea Monkeys, but I thought there was a generic brand.
No, they were just called Sea Monkeys, which all they were like brine shrimp.
Yeah.
And they never looked like the picture.
No.
It basically looked like dirt floating around. We got fooled in getting Sea Monkeys one time.
You're the asshole that bought the pet rock.
No, that was the 70s, so it was past. We didn't have a pet rock. No, my parents weren't going to buy us a pet unless it was an actual animal. They were not even then, because it was like there are rocks in the yard. You got a whole yard full of pet rocks. They're pretty smart in their thinking.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, catchy song. I liked it more than Driver's License. At least it's upbeat.
Yeah, it was a little bit more angsty. Just like with Driver's License.
Good luck to whoever that next girl is, because you're probably going to wake up with your throat slit.
I know. I mean, it's like, look, bro, you need to join Witness Relocation. And Olivia,
will you testify against Miss Rodrigo?
Miss Rodrigo, you need to maybe, I would never say this to anyone, but maybe you should, smoke some weed every once in a while. I don't know.
She is in California.
Calm down, honey.
She's not
it's
18
okay.
yet, though, so she probably can't.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe they're prescribing it to 8-year-olds out there.
Well, it's
like
California.
The Wild West with weed.
So just calm down. It's going to get better. Well, I mean, it probably won't get better, but...
I mean, you're 17. Things will get better,
you're
for
not
sure.
You're not Taylor Swift, all right? Don't go down that road.
I'll tell you what my dad told me when I was 17 and went through a breakup. Shut the fuck up.
Get out and go to work.
Yeah.
Why are you late for school?
Pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Here's the thing, though. Just to provide a little bit of perspective.
Yeah.
We have a spectrum, and if it was one date, you're crazy. But I looked into something. I was listening to a psychologist talk about, or a psychiatrist? I can't remember, but one of the two, one that did a little bit more laboratory research. And apparently when a man orgasms with a woman, they experience like something like 1/10 of the oxytocin that a woman experiences when she orgasms with a man. Because so something flips in their brain and they become like addicted to your smell, the way you talk. So this is a physiological response and on a psychological level. So the psycho ex-girlfriend trope is, it's a stereotype, but essentially what that woman's going through is drug withdrawal. So that's interesting. And so if you guys had premarital sex with Dennis, which Dennis would very much frown upon, but if you guys did, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Rodrigo, I'm very sorry for your troubles. But if it was one date, you're in the wrong. So wherever we land on that, I'm trying to be understanding. So.
And maybe he just gave her a Dutch oven instead.
That would explain track 8, Dutch oven.
That's a deal breaker, I can promise you.
Yeah. And believe me, I've tried.
Hey, baby.
It's like the Vincent van Gogh movie. I can't do anything else, and believe me, I've tried. I can only Dutch oven women.
I mean,
So, obviously, a lot of inspiration from Paramore, and she's said as much. She has said that she really likes Paramore. She was very influenced on this song by Misery, Buisness.
Obviously.
Where do you think it falls on the spectrum in terms of inspired by and absolute ripoff?
I could say rip off, but I'm gonna actually back down a little bit down the spectrum because it's been done so many times already. Like just for the video itself, before we even get to the song, it could be a rip off. But then again, how many videos have you seen of that same scenario in a high school and blah blah blah? Song wise, it's
I like when she's in that the outfit with the big long latex gloves and she's like picking up gasoline.
Yeah,
but she also gets like cheddar popcorn or whatever. It's like
like smart food, and then
it's like funny and
it's weird but funny. Yeah. It was very close to being more. What's the word I'm looking for? Not a rip off, more of like
an homage.
An homage. Kind of like what Zeppelin did with every other band before them. I know they're so easy target, even though I love them.
You mean actually stealing?
Okay, well, no, not to that extent.
I think that's been proven that they actually stole a couple songs.
Yeah, they stole a lot of songs.
Like "Stairway to Heaven" was "Escalator to the Sky."
Yeah. Black Dog was originally a song called White Kitty Cat. Yeah, man. I mean, so
Jimmy Page wasn't even his real name. He stole it from James Book.
Robert Plant.
Zing.
I mean, he stole his name from Clarence Tree.
Close. Swing and a miss. Yeah, where's your fucking laugh track now, asshole?
All right, well, Olivia, get some help. Get somebody to talk to, and the next guy won't be so bad. I promise. You'll grow out of it. Trust me. Wait until you're in your 30s and you're bitter and you've gone through a lot of these guys. I mean, it's just the tip of the iceberg. Mm-hmm. So that's what you have to look forward to.
It will be better and worse from here on out.
Yeah, and if you don't have
you gotta move on.
You gotta move on. Pick up that drinking habit. It's gonna come in handy a lot. And
nobody should get their advice from this podcast. I want to say that so Jamie Casino doesn't come after us.
Right. And if you like pills, just keep going with them. They'll help you. I don't know.
Yeah.
What are we running out of time?
No.
Okay. But I'll give her an A for effort, and I'll give her a thumbs up for continuing with the trend.
I'll give her an A for cup size. That was such a shitty joke.
Wow. Swing and a miss. Mm-hmm. Where's your laugh track now?
I didn't do that bit.
It's great.
All right, here we go.
It's just too much work.
I'll wait.
No, it's too much work to get it going. Like if I just had like a button, like they used to sell these things. It was like a little keychain and it had a laugh track on it, and you could just like almost like just But this is a phone.
Well, I'll get a keychain with a laser pointer on it, and I'll distract you like a cat.
Thank you.
So did you like it?
Yeah, I'll give it a thumbs up. A thumbs up, just for like I said, I get it. But it's okay, Olivia. I mean, we'll flash a number up on the screen later for you to call. His name is Dennis. He'll walk you through it.
We should actually. I'll give you that number if you want to put it up there.
I don't know if we need to do that because I got a feeling that other people might do what we did, and poor Dennis will
I think there's more callers. I think he just happened to be the line I got
I'm sure.
sent to.
And I know his name's not Dennis.
But our
he's
fans
Dennis.
will for sure keep calling
They
until
will.
they get whoever. Well, he said it's not Dennis, but
Yeah.
he said his name, and I didn't beep it, so.
And I forgot what it was, even though I've got it on video.
Right, but they'll keep calling till they find that guy.
They
Tell
will.
me about the Zeppelin concert. He's like, how do you know about that?
What's going on? But anyway, the last one on the list.
Well, we know how I feel about it. In the words of Roger Smith, this song is all chorus and I'll have nothing to do with it.
This is Barnes and Barnes. It was actually originally released in 1978. The song is called Fish Heads. Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads. Don't look at me like that. The song is about as annoying as it could possibly get.
Yeah.
The only thing
I am not a fan of the chipmunking effect, which is essentially you raise the voice an octave.
Yeah.
And with older equipment, there wasn't a way to compensate pitch and not getting that effect because you're essentially speeding it up.
Yeah.
So it's going to have it. You're going to raise the pitch. There's ways now with the algorithmic baked into the software is a lot more sophisticated, and it can kind of you can't stretch it. Like you can't send it up 2 octaves and not expect that effect, but you can mitigate it.
Yeah.
When you pitch correct audio files. So
There were several songs that were going to go in the slot of this song. Unfortunately, a lot of them have been lost to the ages. Then a little history, and yes, this song is really annoying.
it's the worst.
It is terrible.
Don't listen to it. Already thumbs down. Just don't listen to it.
There was a radio show that was syndicated back in the late 70s, early 80s, and unfortunately we didn't get it in Macon, where I was from. It was the Dr. Demento show. I'm sure you've heard of Dr. Demento.
Yeah.
It's where Weird Al Yankovic got his start. Well, Fish Heads was one of the songs that was on the Dr. Demento's show quite a bit. A lot of other silliness, a lot of other silly songs. And I had to whittle it down because the ones I really wanted, like I said, I could not find them. And Fish Heads was easy to find. And yes, it's annoying.
Yeah.
And if you actually listen to the verses, there are some really out of date references.
I didn't catch him.
Yeah, one of them was like, "Don't get caught in drinking cappuccino in an Italian coffee shop with an Oriental girl." That's a little dated. It's not a term we use anymore.
Oh, I thought you meant the reference was dated.
Oh no,
Like,
just
I didn't
using.
catch anything.
Yeah. Well, the chorus is actually, or the verses are actually done in a normal, like, voice.
I thought they actually pitched it down.
Maybe so,
Yeah.
but it was a silly, stupid song. There is actually a music video for it, but I wasn't gonna make you watch it because
It was actually, now I can remember the verses. It was almost like a vaudeville style, kind of like
very much.
the old time radio shit.
Yeah, but there are others. I just like I said, I couldn't find them. I thought, well, I'm gonna get the two fun ones out of the way first. See, if I'd put this in the middle, I would have lost you.
If you put it first, I wouldn't have listened to the rest.
Yeah, that's why I put it at the end. But yeah, it's annoying. It's an annoying song. It's
It's
really annoying.
Horrible.
So you can go ahead and pan it.
It's the equivalent of like STD treatment.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. Trust me, it's annoying.
Yeah.
I needed a cap. That was my Sk8er boy. I just thought I would be decent and put it in the end.
Sk8er Boy is leaps and bounds away from this level of annoying.
But you know what? This is still better than.
I'm on the outside. I'm looking inside.
Oh,
it's just him at a Burger King. Like, coronavirus is over. Let me in the lobby.
I'm from America. Hey, I'm stoned and drunk.
He's the guy that constantly berates people who work in fast food
Yeah.
for wanting a wage increase.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's like, it's a job for high schoolers. You shouldn't try to support a family on this job. But frequents them 3 meals a day
and probably gets mad if he, number one, gets his order is wrong maybe once in 50 times.
Yeah.
Or gets mad because it takes too long, or maybe he doesn't. And I'm not saying this, but I get the feeling he would also probably not appreciate or make comments about the ethnicity of the people who work there. I just see him as one of those people that would.
It's possible.
I'm not going anywhere
Just to
with that.
cover ourselves from Jamie Casino, he may or may not use terms like Oriental.
He may or may not. I don't want to put words in his mouth.
Yeah. I mean, he's already got enough burgers in there, so we don't want to make him choke or anything.
But I'm just saying, he looks like the kind of guy that just, I don't know. I almost feel like if he wasn't so fat and lazy, he would have probably been in that group that stormed the Capitol.
Here's the thing. Yeah. He didn't make it from the White House. He had to take a seat on the steps for a little bit. Catch my breath. Here's the thing. He's so enabled by his fan base that he's adopted this shitty persona. Because know that's not how he actually is or was for a long time.
Right.
And then he's like, oh, I should just like guns and Jesus and stuff now.
Yeah.
And fucking... He was wearing a shirt at that show. It was like... No Biden or something.
Yeah, it was something like that. I saw like
coronavirus isn't real or some shit, like some dumb shit.
It's like, that's fine. I don't know, because I'm sure his "Make America Great Again" shirt was probably dirty.
Yeah.
So
well, that hasn't stopped him from wearing shirts before.
That's true. That's true. It had Big Mac sauce all over it.
His Mexican house cleaner stole away with it one night and burned it. And he can't find it. She's like, the level of irony that's lost on this man is too much. I'm gonna burn this shirt.
Yeah, I mean, he literally makes Ted Nugent likable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Motor City Madman.
At least Nugent goes out, he hunts his own food, and he does. And I'm not.
He
defending.
catches his own viruses.
Yeah, I'm not defending Ted Nugent.
Yeah, he's got an arsenal to do that.
Yeah, I love his cousin Ken Nugent, and I think the attorney.
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
Not his cousin.
I was like, I've heard that.
Ken Nugent.
Name, yeah.
One call. That's all.
We were talking about firearms recently, and I was talking about how I don't carry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't carry with me in public. I have a firearms license to do so, just in case, because if I'm going on a road trip, I'll probably take one in the car.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that's just for, like, I'm not gonna take it out of the car and like walk the streets with it,
like on your hip. It's like just because you have you can legally carry, especially in the state of Georgia, you can carry a gun on your hip, like you're
as long as it's visible, which is insane.
Yeah. It's like, is this the Wild West?
If I was going to carry my pistol on me, it would be concealed. And that's why I have a concealed carry, because then nobody knows you have a gun. You know who the robber's going to shoot first?
The guy
the
with the
motherfucker
gun.
with the gun, asshole.
Yeah.
And what are you, Wyatt Earp?
I know, right?
Fucking asshole. And here's the thing. If you're one of those dudes and you train with your pistol every week and you're a real good shot and that's just what you need to do to be comfortable, by all means.
Yeah.
I was telling you the story of my friend sent me a video of, one of these armed citizens guys. So at a convenience store, guy in the front of the line pulls a gun on the cashier, and the guy behind him is a concealed carry, and he pulls out his gun and shoots the cashier. I have a stand-up bit about it, and I say, well, I'll give him this. He stopped the robbery.
Yeah.
Dead in its tracks.
It's like, quit being Johnny Hero. I mean,
It
especially if you
doesn't
can't
make
shoot
any
the
sense.
right person.
That's the thing, is, didn't even clear the line of fire, just shot the guy in the face.
Yeah. But it's just...
Don't worry, citizen, I'll protect you.
And it gets to points where that whole incident that happened, I guess, last year or year before last in Brunswick, those three guys that literally hunted that one guy down. And I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. I apologize.
I know. Yeah.
And I apologize
I'll look up his
for
name.
Yeah, please
that was
do.
fucked up.
And they literally, it was not about a citizen's arrest. They literally hunted him down and basically a modern day lynching. And now people are like, oh, well, they were just...
Ahmaud Arbery.
Yeah. Ahmaud Arbery. I apologize for not remembering that. But yeah.
Running for exercise.
And he wasn't even like, that wasn't who they were looking for. Like,
no.
And yeah,
and they were like, well, why was he trying to wrestle the shotgun away from that guy? Because those motherfuckers were chasing him with shotguns.
There were 3 rednecks, and they were hunting him. Yeah. Why was he running? Because you were chasing him.
You were chasing him in a truck like a bunch of fucking yokels from the 70s.
Yeah, and they cut him off, and like they hunted him, for absolutely nothing, because he fit in their minds a description, and. And now I hope they, and I'll just say it because I don't care.
Let's see if it keep going. I'm gonna see if they've been sentenced. Or
No. Their trial hasn't even started yet.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. They haven't started their trial yet. I know one of the attorneys is defending one of them. He's a Macon attorney, and he defends people that are obviously guilty. And I'm not going to say his name; it'll be in the news. But no, I hope when they get in prison, which is where they're going, I hope they have to deal with all the people that in their minds they don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure they're going to get theirs. Bad.
Well, 9 counts.
Yeah.
Against the 3 defendants: malice murder, 4 counts of felony murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment.
Mm-hmm.
They face life sentences without parole, thank God.
Yep.
Yeah, and there was something like the dad worked as a like a CI or something for Brunswick Courthouse, or there was some conflict of interest, and they wanted to stand trial in Brunswick, and they were like, no.
Yeah, they got to move somewhere else.
No.
Yeah. But
and I think cases like that are really hard to organize a jury for, because it's so popular in the news.
Yeah,
it's like nobody's heard of it, and it's hard to get a non-biased opinion on it. But hopefully they can get it in a location where people didn't hear of it or long since forgotten about it, and they can have a fair and honest trial, and then they hang those motherfuckers outside the courthouse. Because that was right at the start of coronavirus. Right?
The video footage came out right about the start of it.
Yeah, it was like right around that time when people were starting to have to quarantine, and like it was all very early. And then you hear about that was before George Floyd, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
because they had kept it a secret. Like it had happened.
Yeah, and nobody was talking about it. And then I think the New York Times broke it.
Mm-hmm. It was something like that.
Somebody broke it on the local level. Like they might have even been a Savannah paper.
Could have been.
I can't remember. Somebody in Georgia broke it, and then the New York Times picked it up, and then it was national news. I think, but
because the Brunswick police,
it was
were
like 2 weeks until they arrested him. It was a while.
Yeah, because they were trying to kind of.
Yeah.
But that's what you get. Now I don't want them to hang them outside the courthouse. I want them to have to go and deal with what they've done around a bunch of dudes that.
That's a good point.
Do not appreciate those guys' belief system.
Yeah, state prison in Georgia's pretty rough.
Yeah, so they're gonna get loosened up in prison.
Hope so.
I hope so. A lot.
Yeah, I hope they don't get the death penalty.
No, I'd rather because you're in isolation. You're not in Gen Pop.
That's a good point.
And I'd rather
consider my hanging point.
Yeah, that's why I'm against the death penalty. Not because I'm against killing people who have done wrong, but the death penalty, you are out of general population, and if you've done something horrific enough to where you should die, then you need to be mixed in with all the other people.
Yeah,
and then you need to face that, because living in fear for the rest of your life is worse to me than being in your own little cell by yourself and knowing the day you're going to die.
Your last meal is going to be penis.
There probably.
So that's good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, obviously nothing brings that young man back.
Never.
But
no.
as much suffering as possible. I agree. I'm against the death penalty because I was listening to a talk that this guy was giving. I wish I could remember who it was, but he posed it in such a way that I like it when people challenge things I have in my head that make me reconsider my point of view, because I think that's a very active way about going about life, like challenging what's in your head instead of just sticking to it regardless, which I feel like these gentlemen in this case could have used a little bit more of. But what I mean by that is the guy said imposing the death penalty isn't a question of does this person deserve to die, it's a question of do we deserve to kill. I was like, ooh, okay. And I thought about it, and that I'm against the death penalty on that grounds, and also on the grounds of it's astounding if you go and look at it, the amount of times people have been executed and then later exonerated based on new evidence or DNA evidence or whatever. It's staggering.
Yeah.
And it's a high percentage. It's not like 90%, but it's high enough to where I feel like if there's a 1% chance you're going to kill this person you're going to put an innocent person to death, we shouldn't have that kind of thing around. Because that's the thing, is like obviously it's horrible being falsely imprisoned, but way better than being falsely put to death. So
True.
Yeah. Fuck those guys into the ground.
Yep. All right.
And the good thing is there's nobody in the Georgia prison system who isn't going to know who these guys are.
Right.
So they're going to have to be away from Gen Pop the same way that pedophiles are. Or they join a Nazi gang.
But even then, and that which they probably will join a Nazi gang, but that doesn't mean you're safe.
No. We learned that from American History X.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Yeah. But, they'll get theirs in the end, and literally in the end. But, yeah. Wow, what a dark thing to end on. Let's tell me a joke.
We don't have to end on it.
I know, don't. Give me something funny to talk about. Do a dance, funny man.
See if I have any new stand-up material. Oh, speaking of...
I said something funny.
Classic. Episode 14. This will be in hindsight because obviously they've already listened to it. The reason that I wanted my comedy set up there, I don't think it was the funniest thing in the world. I want it as a placeholder of something I can go back and listen to, and even if it's cringy, and even if I like having little reminders of where I'm at. Or where I was at the time. So when I look at current stuff, it's all the more rewarding because it's like, oh, I have progressed, I have grown, and that's why I did. I don't think it was earth-shattering comedy or anything by those means. I just want something to catalog to go back and listen to, and I think it was funny enough to share. I didn't just go up there and eat a bag of dicks, but
no,
it was good. And maybe in like 6 months or something, I'll release another and kind of see how much better I've gotten.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm not releasing one next week.
No.
But yeah, I'm gonna go on a trip. So we won't do this for 2 weeks,
right?
And we'll go into the premise for episode 20. So because we have basically 3 weeks off,
yes,
we're gonna pitch 3 albums each by the same artist.
Yes.
I think we should stick to something we haven't heard. So since I've gone back and listened to pretty much all of Metallica's discography, that would be a bad one. But and that keeps me in the clear of my 10-episode tradition of pitching the same artist. So we're good on that. I'm going to try to find albums that I think you'll genuinely enjoy. You might not like every song on them, but...
And I'm going to try to go some places that...
If you pitch Barnes and Barnes, 3 albums of Barnes and Barnes, I will come back from Wisconsin with a vengeance.
I don't even think they have 3 songs. And no, I've got.
It's just 3 full-length albums of that song in different pitches.
3 mixes, alternate lyrics. There's a jammin' version. There's the dubstep mix. So yeah, you're gonna love it. Tells a good story about
Well,
fish heads.
the dubstep mix would actually be pretty cool because they would just take a snippet of it. It would just be like,
Fish heads.
eat them up, yum. Look, I can make music with my mouth hole.
Yeah, I've got some deep bands. I know you've never heard of Pink Floyd, so I've got 3 of their albums I really want to throw at you.
Dark Side of the Poon. We had that whole bit in episode 9 of Two in the Pink tour.
Yeah, Pink Floyd.
We were talking about doing a whole podcast on Pink Floyd, and we were calling it Two in the Pink.
That's right.
No,
I don't listen to this podcast.
you've already said that you do.
I know. I don't have a good memory. Hello? Is this thing on?
Is it me you're looking for?
I can see it in your eyes. I don't know. Lionel Richie. Hashtag Lionel Richie.
Don't tell me.
What love can do.
It's not worth fighting for. That song sucks. Take me in your arms. Take me as I am. Or whatever. Was that Bryan Adams?
I think so.
Fuck that song.
I'm giving you 3 Bryan Adams albums.
Fuck.
And not even good
I
ones.
got my first real 6-string.
At the
Bought
five
it at
and
the
dime.
5 and dime. The
Doesn't make-
boys this summer were having sex with me.
Which doesn't make sense because he's Canadian. They don't have Doms in Canada.
It's true. Loonies and Bloonies.
Yeah.
Or fucking whatever.
Bloonies.
I was making fun
Lumpkin
of
sweat.
I was making fun of Sam one night, and I was like, Loonies and Bloonies. I was like, what are you guys in fucking Neverland? Your bullshit money.
Yeah, and they're free healthcare, and they're
Kinda.
yeah. It's not kind of
it's
like
ve-
not like
it's-
Europe.
It's very basic.
Yeah.
It's like you get some meds and a doctor's visit, and you'll have to wait 6 months for it.
Oh yeah.
Sam's family has clued me in very much into the Canadian healthcare system. Her uncle or uncle-in-law or something was in a real bad spot, like risk of getting blood poisoning, and his specialist appointment was like 3 months out. It was yeah. They were real close to just driving him to Detroit to see a doctor because they could probably get an appointment within the week.
You know you're in a bad
think it-
spot
I
when
think
Detroit is your best option.
I'm speaking out of school here, but you know, he's doing better.
Okay, good.
Despite the Canadian healthcare system. That's the thing. People want to just use this. It's free. It's like, doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta. Yeah.
Hey, a free blowjob on the street isn't probably one you want.
Well, I mean,
You want to at least pay for like 3 martinis before you.
well, it's whatever Aaron Lewis wants to drink.
Yeah.
Speaking of cultural news, this might be a little bit old once this comes out. The Cleveland baseball team officially changed their mascot from the Indians to the...
I was about to say something super racist.
to the Cleveland Guardians.
I like the idea of them being like, we're changing our name from the Cleveland Indians to the Cleveland Spear Chuckers. And it's like, that's way more racist, man. Like, what? We got a logo and everything.
Yeah. Just took the other logo and...
Just super thick white heads of this organization. Just like, wait, that's a racist term?
What?
It's like in Clerks 2.
Yeah.
But he's like, my grandmother used to call me porch monkey all the time. He's like, that's a racist term, Randall.
And he's like, no. Yeah.
Is it Randall?
Yeah, Randall.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. He goes, well, I'm bringing it back. So it's not racist. So he puts it on his back of
Porch
his...
monkey for life.
But yeah, I'm waiting to see what kind of backlash people are going to have. I mean, the term Indian referencing Native Americans, I feel like has been it's been an incorrect term from the get-go.
Well, and it's pretty
obviously.
inconsistent, but there's actually a lot of tribes who prefer that term. It's weird.
That's odd.
Yeah, so even they're not organized on the issue. And it's funny because it's, as far as the name Indians go, there were some way worse ones to deal with first, and they really didn't address those.
Right.
Redskins, that was a reference of scalping Indians and getting paid for it. So,
And
I don't think they still haven't changed their...
Well, they're just called the Washington Football team or something.
Is that right?
Yeah, they don't have a quote mascot right now.
Nay.
Which, I mean, make it something fun. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the ideas, but
The Washington Ronnies.
yeah, the Washington
The Ronnie
Reagans.
Raps.
Yeah. I mean, you're in the nation's capital. You got all kind of fun things you can throw out there.
Yeah, just take the name of the baseball team and just be the Washington Capitals football team.
Yeah.
Just steal that name.
I mean, why not?
I remember when that was a big thing. There's always this weird online cult thing of any time something happens with a team that the fan base doesn't agree with, they burn their shit. So like when the Redskins dropped the Redskin name, a bunch of people were burning their Redskins jersey in a fire pit. And then when Nike came out with BLM, a bunch of people were burning like Air Jordans and Nikes and stuff. And then Colin Kaepernick taking a knee for the 69ers, they're burning all their, no, it's 49ers, but they're burning all their, their merchandise from that team. And it's like, hey, asshole, you already bought it. Nobody cares. Like,
yeah.
Like, I like to think that some of those people, like, they didn't own a pair of Nikes and they went out and spent $89 on a pair of Jordans and just to burn it. And it's like, okay. Cool move, Brad.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
That was like back in the 80s when they would burn records.
Yeah.
And I'll give Dave Mustaine this. An interviewer asked him, they said, how do you feel about all these groups burning your records? And he says, well, you got to buy them to burn them.
Yeah.
Doesn't care.
Took that from NWA, though, so.
Actually, he said it before NWA.
Yeah, I just realized that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like you still had to pay for him. He already got his. Cha-ching.
Yeah.
I mean, what if I was like, you know what? I hate Stained. I'm going to go out and buy all of their albums and burn them.
Yeah.
Well, guess who wins that one?
Guess who you just gave a bunch of liquor money to.
Right. Now he can upsize his meal.
I remember it was like in early 2000s, people were burning Dixie Chick records and stomping them and stuff. And I was like, oh, great. And I started breaking all of my Dixie Chicks stuff because I thought they just sucked. Apparently, there was something to do with the Iraq War or something.
They had made the statement.
I like the Dixie Chicks.
They had made the statement that because
they were anti, because of the war in Iraq.
Imagine that country music fans getting offended.
How dare you? For people who really hate when people get offended, they sure get offended pretty fucking easy.
They really do.
Yeah. How dare you talk about Aaron Lewis like that? He's a national treasure.
I think he's bigger than Jesus. I'm going to vote for him for president.
Yeah.
I love you, Aaron Lewis.
I want less literate people in that White House. There's a great quote that I saw recently by a really interesting person, and I thought that it was good enough to read on this podcast because a lot of what I did during my quarantine was read. And this goes into it. It was General Mathis.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Mattis. If you haven't read hundreds of books, you are functionally illiterate, and you will be incompetent because your personal experiences alone aren't broad enough to sustain you. Damn.
Wow.
And I read probably the most horrible book to read during my quarantine. It's called A Prayer for the Dying.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert, skip this if you have a plan of reading it, but it's 200-page novel about a sheriff in a town after the Civil War, like around that time, and they have an outbreak of diphtheria, and everybody in the town starts dying. The whole time there's a wildfire encroaching on the town, but they're under quarantine, so he gets them to organize and get on a train, and he's going to send them to the nearest town. And he has to kill the sheriff of that town because he's not going to let him in. And then, he goes, like, the first two people to die are his wife and infant daughter.
Oh, my God.
And that's, like, halfway through the book. And then he goes back and he's, like, the whole time you're confused as to, he's going insane. So you don't know if he's buried the daughter and his wife or if he's propping them up around the house and pretending they're alive. And it's really dark. He goes back, he buries them. He goes back to check on the train to make sure it's left. It's crashed, and everybody on it's dead.
Oh, gosh.
He goes to check on the town hermit who lives out of town in a cave. he's dead and all his ducks are dead. He survives the fire by jumping in the lake outside the hermit's cave, and then he takes up residency in the hermit's cave because and then he has the realization that he was the one spreading the diphtheria around the town.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he killed everybody.
Wow.
Real great book to read when you're in pain and dealing with
the plague.
Dealing with the plague, yeah. So, but then I started A Scanner Darkly, so it's all good.
Okay. Another
super depressing book.
Wow. Well, I guess the Diary of Anne Frank wasn't around.
Yeah.
Mein Kampf.
Well, that's not depressing. That's just informative. Hitler was a great artist.
No Hitler jokes today. No Hitler jokes.
Too late.
All right. Well, let's go out on a bang. As in, I want to hear
each other?
some big applause.
Well deserved.
You know how to get one more out before.
Well, that was the least annoying of them. So.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna take a big old break. You're gonna enjoy your little vacation.
Mm-hmm. Going to Wisconsin, playing golf with my father-in-law. I like fucking with Sam. Whenever I'm referring to her parents, I call them my step-parents, and it really bugs her. She'll be like, she'll say, my mom is sending us a Whole Foods gift card, and I'll be like, oh, thank you, stepmommy, and it really bugs her.
It's kind of gross.
It's so
Maybe.
fun. It's really fucked up, but it's fun. So that just reminded me of that. But yeah, my father-in-law is amazing at golf, so I got to get a tune-up game in there before I play with him because I'll just embarrass myself. It's bad. I mean, he'll go like around and go like 4 or 5 over, and I'll be like 20 up, and just like, I'll get you one of these days. Especially for a guy, he started golf late. He started in his like late 30s or 40s.
Oh wow!
So yeah, I mean, he's phenomenal. So I'm excited. Gonna get up to Wisconsin.
Yay!
Gonna get a little bit of a break from your horrible company. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna check. I'm actually gonna go and spend the next 2 weeks in an opium den.
Nice.
And just kind of relax.
So you're just going home then?
Basically, yeah.
Just gonna smoke some heroin in Trisha's bedroom.
Yep.
Jonathan, I need to use the bathroom. Like, just say. Like passed out with the water on.
Yeah.
One time I don't know if I told this story, but I got blackout drunk with my army buddies. So drunk that you've ever been to a social club?
Yeah.
So you know where the benches are? Outside the gate or inside of the gate.
Yeah.
I walked across a group of people's table to jump the fence.
Yeah, you told me this story.
And had to. Did I tell them the story?
Uh-huh.
Did I? Okay.
Yeah.
And then I went home and dropped acid.
Yeah.
And I was in the shower with all my clothes on,
Mm-hmm.
letting it fill up like the tub.
Yes.
Yeah. Good times.
Good times. Yay. Well, I mean, if you're at social club, there's really nothing else to do. But yeah.
Get blackout drunk with some army dudes.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else we wanted to talk about?
I think I'm all out of material as usual.
Thank God.
Well.
Zing.
Zingy zingy. Yeah. Next time around, episode 20.
It won't be this week and it won't be next week.
They won't know the difference.
It'll be the week after for you.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
And then we're gonna start.
I'll know the difference.
This will also be in hindsight, but we're gonna start releasing 2 episodes a week to get all caught up. And then pretty soon here, like anytime we discuss this, I just realized it never works out the way we planned
it never does.
But hopefully this will work out. And then pretty soon you'll be getting the podcast like about a week after we record it. So it'll be
More modern.
fairly current. Yeah.
But thumbs up, subscribe.
Fish heads, roly-poly fish heads.
If you have anything you want to say, put it in the comments. I want to get...
If we start getting a lot and they're mean...
we'll turn off comments.
No. I'm very
We're gonna read them?
invested in reading.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome!
yeah.
Even better. Yeah, I was like, let's not do that. Let's not like be babies and go, oh, you hurt my
No,
feelings.
okay,
good.
I get it.
So, Aaron Lewis, won't you drop us a comment?
Why don't you drop dead? What an asshole!
That's how I want to end this.
I honestly like. I was starting to feel bad for him because it's like he's a successful musician. We're just being shitty.
Yeah.
But then it turns out we were right the whole time.
We were always correct about him. We were just
Now, fingers crossed, Fred Durst is like a sex offender.
Yeah. I'm going to line them all up.
Waiting for that New York Times story to break.
And then we're going to have a field day.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What do you want to do for episode 100? Should we just get like real fucked up and live stream it?
Yeah, I think we should.
We'll have the recorded version, but we can like have a live chat with our fans, and we'll just do like a 6-hour podcast.
Yeah,
I'll just eat mushrooms.
Yeah, and I'll just bring a case of beer and just
that'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll do that for 100. But we have to have.
Oh wait, we forgot to talk about music.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. I want to do something. Your screen's going dead.
That's fine.
Oh, it's just the screensaver. Savior. Yeah, that's funny. Let's get. I'd like to see if we can get up to by episode 30, possibly 100 subscribers.
Okay.
Because I want to do. We'll do a contest episode 30.
That's 10 away from now.
I know.
Well, I guess we've got more releasing in the meantime. But
so yeah,
the call to action, please.
Call to action.
Tell your friends we're not going to advertise this. We talk about getting stickers, putting them up everywhere.
Yeah.
I was thinking we could do. Did you ever watch the Boondocks?
I never watched that show. No.
So there was a character in it played by Cat Williams called a pimp named Slickback, and people in the show kept calling him Slickback. And he was like, no, you gotta say the pimp name part. It's like a Tribe Called Quest. You say a pimp named Slickback. Like, yes, you say the pimp name part. Yes, every time. So I was thinking we could do that with the podcast, and like up top it's yes, you gotta say the lemon squeezing part. Yes, every time. And the bottom is, it's like a Tribe Called Quest. You gotta say the whole thing.
It sounds good. But yeah, we'll do that. Put stickers everywhere. We're not going to put stickers all over town. Someone else will probably do that because I don't want to what's the word? Encourage vandalism.
We'll just put them up wherever stickers are.
You totally missed what I just said. We're not going to put stickers up everywhere.
Yes, we are.
My food's here. We're not going to put stickers up everywhere.
We're not going to take it. No.
Not anymore.
We're not going to take it.
Because I just want to rock.
We're not going to take it anymore.
Dun, 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 I want. There's another.
What's that? That Quiet Riot song, Come On Feel the Noise?
Yeah.
That was Randy Rhoads.
Mm-mm.
Randy Rhoads wasn't in Quiet Riot?
Not at that point. He'd already left.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
He was on their first 2 albums that were only released in Japan.
Metal Health. Really?
He'd already left. He was in Ozzy's band by then. Sorry. Actually, he was dead by then.
Really?
Yeah. That
shit.
That was 83, so he was already dead.
When was he in Quiet Riot? Like 79?
Yeah. 79, 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for teaching me, Daddy John.
Yeah. They do have a compilation of the music he recorded with them called Quiet Riot, the early years. Completely, it sounds, obviously the guitar playing sounds better, but yeah, a little bit different. And I think they might have used some of the more popular songs then. I really can't remember. I haven't heard it in forever. But yeah, he wasn't in the popular version. He was, like I said, he was dead by the time Metal Health came out, unfortunately. So yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah,
so he wasn't alive for very long with Ozzy.
No, he was here for a good time, but not a long time.
Yeah, did the drug habit ramp up around the time he entered the Ozzy Osbourne group?
No, he died in a plane crash.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Was he on the plane with Leonard Skinner?
No, he was actually. And then we'll end on this. But when he died, and we did the autopsy, the only thing in his bloodstream was nicotine and a little bit of alcohol. He did no drugs at all. They were on a tour break. They were on tour and they were taking a break in Florida, like near Clearwater, Florida. Yeah.
Scientology.
Huh?
Scientology.
Yeah. Well, they weren't, but
yeah, I will.
Well, anyway. And one of the guys on the bus, like I think he might have been the bus driver, they parked the bus near someone's property and it was next to a small airport. And the guy was like, I know how to fly a plane. let's go. Let's go steal a little plane and fly it around. So he went and stole a plane. They flew it around. Then they finally convinced Randy to, do one little loop with him. So it was Randy Rhoads. It was their like costume designer, hairdresser. She got on the plane. The pilot, and he was buzzing around. They were going to buzz.
This is a stolen plane.
Stolen plane. Like a little bitty plane, but
like
still
a Cessna or something.
Yeah, maybe a little bit smaller than that. Probably like a 4-seater. And they were going to buzz the tour bus to try to wake up Ozzy and mess with him.
Mm-hmm.
So they buzzed it once. They came back around to buzz it again. Hit the bus with the wing.
Oh shit!
Flipped the plane over. Landed on top of someone's house, and it burst into flames. Killed everybody on the plane, Randy Rhoads included.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
That's a way wilder story than I thought.
Yeah, true story. Yeah, that is crazy.
Did it kill anybody else?
Just the 4 people on the plane, or three people on the plane.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Randy Rhoads. I mean, he was like, God, I think he was like 24 maybe.
Yeah.
He was young, but just like that.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Well, glad we're going out on a happy note.
Well.
See you folks next week.
Rock on. Hey, I love you.
I love you.